Looking back on it now, I'm like, I can't believe the work and detail that's gone into this.
In the earliest versions of the script, we didn't even know what it was. I think it was just called The Figure. Tom went through everybody that was a script read through and just asked them what they thought the creature was or what the figure was.
The creature of the film is a moa-esque bird that terrorizes the main characters.
The heron was the main inspiration for me for the bird.
How did we make the bird?
Where do we start?
Yeah.
In your head it's easy. When you think about the steps individually, it's like,
it was just time. It was lots and lots of time. It was figuring it out a lot as we went.
So we sculpted the head and the feet kind of in parallel. And once those were totally done, we molded both of them, molded them in the tiniest little shed in my garden, and it took up almost the whole surface area of the floor.
We made a pair of feet that could be operated. We made kind of a body from the hips up to the top of the head, which could be operated. There was always someone inside of that as well, and that's just to give the body a little bit of movement.
And that head has a rod coming out the back so that you're able to control the angle of the head from about 3 meters away. So around and then obviously rotating, and then you can move it back and forth via the rod as well.
We had the hand puppet head, and that was for kind of close-ups and any shots where the mouth had to open, because the mouth only opened on the hand puppet head. That was just a hinge mechanism in the jaw with like just some little spots for your hand to fit in. Then there was the feet. Didn't get used as often as the other two, but were used in some pretty important shots. And they were probably the most mechanically complicated.
Definitely. Every single toe had like 6 pivoting points, all with their own individual bearings, like 2 springs on each toe, and all cable controlled so that each joint moved individually to each other, so that if it was wrapping around something or on somebody's chest, each joint could move individually.
Our last day shooting with the creature, the cable snapped in one of the toes. That's the take that's currently in the edit, and I think it's working pretty well actually. It actually is giving it quite a like alien-esque little snappy thing. You'll hate it.
I'm sure I will. Lara added a huge amount to our team. Just the work that she did sculpting the feet, painting all of the silicone. Can't understate the amount of effort that she put in, and it shows when you see those final things.
The fights with the bird were so tricky. We went back and reshot the final fight with the bird, and it was just... So someone's poor arm is like this with the bird trying to peck at the camera.
Your wrist inside looks like this.
And your head is like this, and then trying to angle it in the right way.
And it's very heavy bird. Very heavy head.
Yeah.
There are scenes in the film where the creature's got Tom's pants attached to it and it's throwing it around, and I was on set just pulling my hair out because Gabe was controlling it at the time. You were not going lightly with it. You were going about as hard as you possibly could with it. There are these 1 millimeter cables, steel cables, that are basically just holding the head on. If anything happened to those, we'd be able to replace them, but it would just be a huge headache on set.
All these fight scenes, like the fact, like we really had to practice them with the whole team, making the bird move, and the camera angles and stuff like that. Trial and error, how important trial and error for something like this actually is.
I think it's definitely going to show. We rehearsed it thoroughly over and over. We added moments, added beats that really made it feel as visceral as what you see in the final scene. It was incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I mean, none of us come from, like, we're not dancers, we're not puppeteers, we don't come from that background, so no. I'm sure there's people that could have done it a lot better than us. But we didn't have the budget for that, so we figured we'd give it and we wanted to do it. Like, we wanted to give it a go.
So I wanted to do it.
So we gave it a go, and I think we just had to practice a lot, and it's exhausting.
I think it's sad that you don't see projects like this happening as much nowadays. It's part of the reason why I got into filmmaking in the first place, was to create things like this. In a practical way, if you make something practical, forever that thing will look real. Whatever we film in front of the camera, it looks like a real, tangible object with flaws and imperfections running throughout it. Combining a tiny amount of VFX, a lot of practical effects, and then classic filmmaking techniques, you can create something that's really, really special.